Hey, I'm James from Smoking Dad Barbecue, and today we are doing a wood-fired pizza in our Solo Stove Pie pizza oven. Now, if you're just catching this series, the Solo Stove Pie is a dual fuel oven, which means we can burn gas or wood. But if you haven't seen my last video, I put my Solo Stove Pie head-to-head against its arch rival, the oven we already own, which is in our kitchen, which is a gas oven. And to my surprise, I couldn't taste a difference. And after that video, I took the pizzas inside, gave them to the family, and they couldn't taste a difference either. So now I'm really curious, what is it that makes a pizza oven and makes it special? Is it the form factor, the shape in terms of how the air moves throughout the pizza oven, which I'm sure is part of that? Or is it something like the fuel? So since I wasn't able to really taste the difference between the gas version of pizza on the Solo Stove versus my indoor oven, today I want to cook a pizza using only wood and see if this adds what was missing in that extra layer, or the whole reason I think in the first place to even own a pizza oven, which is for that extra special flavor. So without further ado, let's get started. So for today's wood-fired pizza in the Solo Stove Pie, I'm going to use one of the most popular dough recipes on YouTube, which is none other than Vitos. He has nearly 7 million views on his pizza dough recipe for the house. And so I'll take you back to yesterday when I actually prepared this dough and give you about a 30-second montage of the steps that come together. It's maybe 15-20 minutes of total work. It's a really easy dough, and most importantly, it's the same dough that I used when I did my gas versus gas battle using the Solo Stove Pie. So I don't want any differences here in the dough other than my memory and what I can recall in terms of how that tasted. And we're gonna try and isolate just down to wood fuel. So let me take you back to yesterday, give you a crash course on how Vitos dough comes together. And when you rejoin me, I'll tell you a couple of the game plan differences in terms of how I'm gonna set up differently from my first wood fire in the Solo Stove Pie, as well as get ready to start making our pizzas.
Giorno di torno girando, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto a dolcino d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto a dolcino d'amor. Non più avrai questi bei panacchini, quel cappello leggero galante, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante, quel vermiglio d'onesco color, quel vermiglio d'onesco color. Non più avrai quei panacchini, quel cappello, quella chioma.
Okay, we've got some fresh mozzarella. Let's prepare this. Make some slices about 1/4 of an inch thick. Do the same thing the other way. And repeat with these next two. Perfect. Let's get out our pizza dough. Cut open our dough package here. Place that upside down in the flour. Toss. And now let's press it out. Try and push those air bubbles out to the edge. Stretch it out. Add our sauce. Get a little bit of olive oil on our fingers and just put that on the outside around the crust. A little bit of fresh grated Parmesan. Our mozzarella. Slide this onto our peel. Let's get our pizza in our oven. So for setting up our Solo Stove, we're going to make a couple differences to my first fire in my unboxing video with the Solo Stove Pie. And so we're going to start with a charcoal base so that we can get a nice hot bed of coals. I found when we started with just wood, it was hard to get a coal bed. We got a ton of ash and soot out the front that I've tried to clean up, but it went black almost instantly, as well as took a really long time to get up to temperature. When it did get up to temperature, it was consuming wood incredibly quick. And so buying small wood chunks that will actually fit this, since even though for display, this is the wood that I use in my La Piazza Piccolo wood-fired oven or my offset, this just won't fit. This is the entire size of the back of the Solo Stove Pie. And so unless you had a miter saw and wanted to break this down into probably about 6 pieces is what would fit, I'm going to buy the pre-broken down chunks. But these dehydrated and in a small size are very expensive. It's about $30 a bag. And at the rate that I did in my first video, we would go through through an entire bag of that, just getting up to temperature till we are ready to have our stone to cook our first pizza, as well as cooking our pizza. So not only is the charcoal bed going to help hopefully give us cleaner combustion, it's going to give us a more economical way of building heat in our solo stove pie. So when we start adding wood for flavor, when we're ready to throw on our pizza, that's exactly what we'll get. Okay, let's add some charcoal. Should give us a nice coal bed to work with that we can add some wood chunks to a little bit later. Drop this into place, grab our Grill Blazer grill gun and fire this up. Install our door. Okay, let's check on our coal bed as that's been burning down for a couple minutes. You can see everything is nice and white and ashed over. So I just want to get these wood chunks in now, start converting from heat or building heat to cooking with wood for flavor. Looks good. Close that back up. So adding some charcoal has done the trick in terms of getting some temperature more quickly, as well as a higher temperature, but it's not solving our black soot issue. And I think this is just coming down to the fact that there's not a chimney on the solo stove like there is, for example, on my La Piazza Piccolo wood-fired oven. So I just think that's going to be par for the course when we are burning wood. Even though it's burning nice and clean, we're still getting that soot. But unlike my inaugural burn, we are seeing temperatures upwards near 700 degrees on the stone. So from memory, this is about 100 degrees hotter than we got when we went with just wood. And maybe if we had kept adding wood and burning through more and more, eventually we'd get there. But charcoal has fast-tracked us to a higher pizza stone temperature. So we've got our pizza made and ready to go. Let's get nice and close and get this in our oven. Okay, in we go. Okay, let's get it off. Add in some fresh basil. Okay, our pizza looks amazing. I can't wait to dive in for our taste test. In terms of cooking, it went really well. I made a small user error, nothing to do with the dough or the oven, but just trying to get up to temperature while I was waiting. I thought I was nearly there. I made our pizza and just let it sit with the sauce on a little bit too long. And so when I slid it in, I noticed I got a small tear. So we did have a slight baby hole in our dough, but to me, it still looks really good, completely salvageable. So I don't think that's gonna impact our taste test, but just in case you did see a little hole there as I was zooming in nice and close, that's on me, not the Solo Stove Pie or Vito for his dough recipe. You live, you learn. Anyways, enough chit chat, let's dive in, see how we did for our taste test. Grab a piece here. So you can see dough, it's got some crunch, but inside still nice and soft. Bottom looks pretty good, better than I was able to get with the gas. So we've got a little bit of leopard printing. Let's see how it tastes. So much better already than the gas. The wood is just adding that something extra. You can get a bit more. Crust, soft and crunchy. I don't even hear that. Well, it was that much better. I got distracted and ate the entire piece, forgot to snap back to reality and tell you how it is. So again, night and day difference versus gas. So we were asking the question, is it the form factor of a pizza oven or is it fuel? And I'm going to call that a definitive win for fuel, since this is the same oven that we did versus our indoor oven where there was no difference. And here the pizza is night and day different. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see the Solo Stove Pie versus something like the Kamado Joe with the Dojo accessory, or the Big Daddy back there, my full-size pizza oven. Because again, if you didn't catch that, I was shopping originally for the pie before I landed on the La Piazza Piccolo oven as my choice. And as I did buy that oven, Solo Stove sent me this one as an evaluation unit for free. So it was, again, the opportunity to see if I made the right choice. If you'd like to see these two head-to-head, let me know down in the comments below. I'll be sure to do that. That's it for today, though. I'm going to take this inside and enjoy some more. Hope you enjoyed it. And remember, don't be afraid to fire it up.